Today we expose 10 cool marbles and 1 cold supervillain.
Welcome back to another edition of Vintage Machine Made Marbles. Today we're here with Bretzel's Empire and we're counting down 10 really cool marbles. You can't do that. Mr. Freeze brought some of his 10 most unique and collectible marbles. Let's count down from 10 to 1. What you got for number 10, Iceman?
Behold, a Peltier Colorado.
Fair warning, this marble is so sick it might give you the flu. This marble is a pre-World War II Peltier from the National Line Rainbow era of pelts, probably built in the 1930s. There's a sun-kissed orange and a Kelly green and white on a clear base. There is also a blue version of this marble with the green is replaced by blue. This piece is at 5/8 of an inch in diameter and is in mint condition. And so I would value it at roughly $125.
It should be fine.
And now I'm just standing here.
And marble number 9, a Vitro Agate Buttermilk.
This is a fantastic example, Mr. Freeze. This old school Vitro measures 11/16 and shows at standard American flag colors on a creamy golden buttery base. Some of these buttermilks can show a baby blue while others have a deep indigo blue, but they all show that warm buttery yellow in the base. This marble sells in this condition for approximately $50 to $75. These marbles are fairly uncommon. I wouldn't call them rare, but they're very collectible, especially for Vitro agate curators.
Presenting one of my most treasured marbles, a Ravenswood
Oh,
Blue
that's
Raven.
one fine piece of glass, Mr. Freeze. The Ravenswood Novelty Works produce arguably the most attractive and elaborate swirls of all the West Virginia companies. Their brown-based Raven group are among the most sought-after vintage swirls ever produced. And this one is a two-toned blue Raven with that powder blue and indigo matched with the 2 shades of tan. This is a really good-looking marble with that dizzying pattern. The blue Ravens aren't as difficult to find as the other colors, but to me they're the most attractive. This piece is probably valued at $30 to $40 US.
You might get freezer burn with this one, Mr. Barr. For what you're about to see, you will never be able to unsee. My one and only Mr. Freeze Hybrid Tracer.
That marble is disgusting. Did you make it yourself? The Peltier Tracers are a group of translucent white-based marbles with either blue, green, red, or yellow stripes, and they're paired with white tracer lines. This unique piece has a medium blue ribbons with an unusual violet and white tracers. It's a fabulous frozen blueberry delight, and it's super rare. And it may hold a value of north of $100.
It's marble number 6, a Ruby B.
So what makes this a Ruby B and not a Tiger? A Tiger has orange, yellow, and black glass on a solid white base. This piece has a custard yellow base with red glass casting over it, giving it an orange colored appearance. Ruby Bs are fairly uncommon, and the handsome pattern on this particular piece is really unique. It's an early model, probably produced in the 1950s. I imagine the value on this bee is north of $40 in a competitive auction.
This is becoming quite an outrage, Mr. Barr, and I did not come down here just to play show and tell with you. You've got me messing around with all these billiard balls. We agreed to make a trade, and if you don't show me some of your stash soon, I will eliminate you with my deadly cold gun.
Chill out, Mr. Freeze. I'll show you some of my marbles. And put that weapon away and show me a real shooter.
Frozen in my time capsule for over 80 years, I've defrosted my Vitro Neon Conqueror.
Holy unlikelihood, Mr. Freeze. This may be one of the rarest of the Vitro agates, and the holy grail of the Vitro shooters. Measuring 15/16 of an inch, this gorgeous gob of glass has 4 vibrant colors of swirly veneered glass on a transparent base. The clear windows on the surface of the marble give it an added dimension, and they're aptly named neon, as they display somewhat glowing appearance when slightly backlit. This vintage treasure has a value of over $100.
Marble number 5, a Peltier Inky.
This deep dusky inky has a darker bronze-colored base than most inkies. It was difficult to capture on film. That, paired with a heavy dose of ink blue ribbon work, makes this a rare and atypical inky model. Inkies are fairly uncommon, and this piece is quite an anomaly. I hate to put a price tag on something like this, but I was offered over $100 for it from a avid Peltier collector, which I think is a generous offer.
Presenting a Vienna glass Vitro Agate Trilite.
Only the premium for this video, and here we have a early Vitro Agate Trilite, probably from the 1930s. Some of these Trilites have become quite collectible because of their quality glass and dynamic two-seam design.
Stop right there, Mr. Barr. Did you say dynamic duo?
No, I said dynamic two-seam designs. This example has a little ox hair in the red, paired with a dazzling turquoise and cobalt blue. This piece may have a value of up to $30 to $40.
Prepare yourself, Mr. Barr, for a vintage Akro snake.
Here's a marble that just might bite back. Here comes a 3-color corkscrew snake from the storied Akro Agate Company. This is probably a 100-year-old piece. This snake has an orange spiral bordered with cream on one side and yellow on the other. It displays a perfect donut hole in the center. A snake like this in mint condition is very scarce, and it holds a value of probably $40, $50.
Counting down to marble number 2, a Christensen agate, striped transparent.
Yes, this is a very obscure and sought-after marble with a color combination that's no doubt rare and collectible. This two-seam example has a translucent emerald green base with electric orange stripes rising to the surface. She's got a little pocket wear and may have been some child's favorite marble, but still, a piece like this could demand a value of $60 or more. There simply weren't many in circulation. This is a wonderful piece of glass history.
Mr. Barr, with all these collectibles to share, I think we should show more than just 10 marbles.
Excellent point, Mr. Freeze, and I aims to please, so let's pull out a few choice Vacor de Mexico marbles from the vault. These are the Guacamayas, and they're thought to have been the early versions of the Vacor dragons. And they boast festive colors, including a light opaque green, a darker translucent green, and they're complemented by yellow swirls and one other color of either coral, orange, red, or purple. These early models were probably produced in the late 1990s and are much bolder and have a much busier pattern than the later dragons. These are harder to find Vacors that may be quite collectible someday, and they are among my personal favorites.
It's marble number 1.
The Peltier Submarines are a very early group of marbles that were produced long before the company began cutting corners in production costs. And the cobalt blue base on this one is an uncommon feature, and the two-tone orange swirl combination is a real knockout. This scarce museum quality Peltier is over 5/8 of an inch, it's in mint condition, and it's valued over $130. Well, that was episode 1 for 10 Cool Marbles with Mr. Freeze. Stay tuned for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed the content. I'd like to thank everyone who helped with their contributions. And thank you for watching Vintage Machine Made Marbles.
That's good. I can keep